As the country commemorated the World Environment Day yesterday under the theme United Against Plastic Pollution, an urgent need to address the growing problem of the plastic waste was highlighted. It is evidence that Uganda is still struggling with this disease of the plastics pollution, which are said to be contributed more by the human beings. During the Uganda Law Society engagement with the ministries responsible for this initiative, the Corporate Communications Manager, NEMA, Naomi Namara, together with the Legal and Corporate Affairs Manager, Eunice Asinguza, unveiled the laws in place that prohibit the continuous act of plastic pollution in Uganda.
The law on plastics is covered under Section 76 and 77 of the National Environment Act, and it addresses the management of plastics and plastic products. These sections prohibit the importation, the export, the local manufacturer, use or reuse of certain plastic carrier bags and plastic products. The law also mandates extended producer responsibility for producers of the plastic products.
Probably lawyers, you are familiar with how scanty the law can be and allows a lot of room for things to happen. So when the law says it prohibits importation, distribution, and use, what extent are you able to prohibit in that kind of writing? Do you see? If it says, what can you do with a law that reads like that? Probably I invite you to take interest in the environment law. There's a lot that you'd be able to work with.
Naomi Namara adds that the most of the water bodies like Lake Victoria are affected by the waste. This, according to her, will reduce on income obtained from the lake.
You are at risk of suffering if we do not ban or if we do not attend to the issue of plastic, both nationally and globally, because we are not primary producers of plastic, but we are huge consumers, and we are affecting our water bodies, Lake Victoria and other water catchments.
Margaret Nicholas, the Commissioner, Ministry of Water and Environment, unveiled the government's plans to curb and implement policies which will completely deal away with the single plastic use in Uganda.
Putting in place mechanisms to put to an end this plastic, especially the single-use plastic, by implementing the ban. So Uganda is taking the direction of banning the single-use plastics and exploring options on how to end other forms of plastics actually. So what have we done regarding this? Already there is a policy brief that has been prepared and presented to Cabinet. So we are waiting for the approval of this brief.
Magara added that NEMA has already started with a survey of the population that produce these single plastic use and their locations.
If these plastics come to environment, how are they disposed of? So that when we are to implement the real policy of total ban, then we know what we are talking about. This consultancy is underway, and of course the report will feed into the policy brief, which is supposed to be approved by Cabinet